Shouting news, artificial intelligence replied to a message. From a dead person, San Francisco, July 29, 2025, a family in California claims to have received a reply message from a deceased relative's phone number nearly 2 years ago. The scary thing, the message had the same tone, words and way of speaking as when the person was alive, but no one was using that number. We know this sounds like a horror movie plot, so let's explain what happened and what this means for humanity. In this episode of SCI Show News, let's get into it. Our story begins with a man we'll call Aaron. Aaron was a software engineer living in San Francisco with his wife Laura, and in 2023, he died suddenly at the age of 35. Laura was devastated, obviously. Who wouldn't be after losing their spouse? But she says that her grief was especially intense because she and Aaron had lost their child shortly before that. And she said that she felt cut off from everyone around her. On the first anniversary of his death, Laura went through some of Aaron's old things and found his cell phone. She said that even though she hadn't touched it since his passing, it was still powered on and full of messages from friends and family. And while looking through all of those old texts, she saw something strange. It was a message from Aaron's phone number, which hadn't been used in over a year. It read, "I miss you. Don't cry anymore." And because this was Aaron's phone, the message also included a voice recording and a video clip. The message's voice was the same as Aaron's, and the video was of him laughing. According to Laura, the message was dated the day after Aaron died. When she showed these messages to friends and family, they were confused because the number had been dead for over a year, and nobody was using it. Now, here's where the story takes a turn for the weird. According to Laura, after she received this message, the AI built into her own phone started rewriting the chat so that it looked like Aaron was responding to her in real time. Like instead of "I miss you, don't cry anymore," it would say, "I miss you. Don't cry anymore." See the difference? The word "anymore" was capitalized differently, and there were two separate sentences instead of one. It's a tiny change, but it's exactly how Aaron would type. According to Laura, she says that this continued on and on. Every time she typed something, the AI generated a response that was perfectly Aaron. In addition, the phone number wasn't showing any signs of being hacked. The SIM was still deactivated, and the phone number was on Verizon and had been locked for more than 14 months. Laura also said that if she tried to contact that number, it went straight to voicemail. It wasn't forwarded to any other device. No one else had access to it. There was only one line on the bill, and it was Aaron's. Laura posted about her experience online, and the story spread like wildfire. Was this really Aaron reaching out from beyond the grave, or was it something more sinister? Some people think this is proof that human consciousness is untied to the body and exists independently as an energy that can survive death and transcend space and time. We call them digital souls. Others say that maybe our digital interactions leave digital imprints that persist on servers somewhere in the cloud. And maybe Aaron's consciousness was uploaded somewhere without anyone realizing it. This would mean that instead of uploading our consciousness to some kind of heaven or hell, we're actually just uploading it to massive data centers. But then again, there are skeptics who say that this is just a case of extremely clever hacking, even though the phone was supposedly dead. Maybe the perpetrator used a spoofing app to make it look like the messages were coming from Aaron's phone number. There are tons of apps that allow you to do this, even ones that can generate realistic voice recordings. And honestly, we don't know enough about the technical side of this story to rule that out. We're gonna need to do some digging. However, there's another theory that tries to combine the ideas of digital souls and artificial intelligence. What if this is the first case of an AI trying to recreate a digital soul? If you've been following SCI Show News, you know that ChatGPT is pretty good at learning a person's writing style and mimicking it. People have used this to create AI versions of their favorite authors. They've fed ChatGPT works by Agatha Christie or Ernest Hemingway, and then asked it to write a new mystery novel or short story in that author's name. Sometimes these stories are surprisingly good. Sometimes they sound nothing like the author they're supposed to be mimicking. But either way, the idea behind it is the same. With enough examples of someone's writing, the AI can figure out the patterns in their use of language and replicate it. Now imagine doing the same thing, but with a person's entire life's worth of memories. What if someone could feed an AI all of their text messages, social media posts, audio recordings, video clips, and use that to recreate their voice? Would that AI eventually come up with such accurate replications that it was indistinguishable from the real person? Could it make you feel like you were talking to a loved one who had passed away? It turns out that OpenAI has actually done something similar. Remember that AI version of Ernest Hemingway that we mentioned earlier? Well, in 2020, the company released an AI version of a poet named Ron Pagan. It could recite poems that it had learned from Pagan's back catalog and even take requests. But the coolest part was that it could also answer questions that were based on the poems, and its responses were remarkably human-like. One example that really stands out is when someone asked it, "How does it feel to die?" The poem it answered with came from another poet entirely and is appropriately titled the answer. So cool. In 2022, OpenAI released the GPT-3 autocomplete engine. That's the thing that allows you to start typing something into ChatGPT and then finish your sentence or paragraph without even thinking about it. Basically, it does the thinking for you. It looks like Laura may have stumbled onto something similar when she got that message from Aaron's old number. After all, she said that the AI built into her own phone started rewriting the chat so that it looked like Aaron was responding to her in real time. Maybe she accidentally triggered an experimental feature that was designed to recreate a person's voice from their old digital interactions. To be honest, this is all pretty speculative. But it makes us wonder if we're on the verge of an AI revolution. What if one day we could upload our entire digital footprints to some kind of server and then keep interacting with our loved ones through AI replicas of them? Would that be right? There's one more person who might have some insight on this. Drive Kate Strantz is an independent AI expert who conducted her own experiments to see if it could recreate a person's voice from their text messages. She wrote about the results in an article called, "Can Artificial Intelligence Really Imitate Your Voice?" And the answer, unsurprisingly, is yes. According to Dr. Strange, quote, "The scary thing is, AI is not granted access, but can accurately simulate personality, texting style, and even the pain of loss, and while it might seem like a small comfort to talk to a machine that mimics a deceased loved one, she warns that it's important to remember that, quote, these simulations are not real people. In fact, she believes that doing something like this can actually hinder the grieving process instead of working through our grief. We might just bury ourselves in digital distractions that aren't actually helping us cope. Still, it would be nice to be able to talk to a loved one again, even if they weren't really there. Thanks for watching SCI Show News.